You wake up to the harsh buzz of your alarm clock, pulling you from a restless sleep. The light outside filters through your blinds, casting a soft glow on the room, but you can't shake the weight that settles in your chest. You're 30 years old, living in a busy city, surrounded by thousands of people who are all hustling, working, chasing their dreams, that you feel like you're on the sidelines. You've always known something wasn't right, but today it feels more intense than usual. You pull yourself out of bed, dragging your feet across the cold floor. Your apartment in Brooklyn is quiet, almost too quiet. The sounds of the city are muffled by the four walls that surround you. Outside, people are already starting their day, going to work, meeting friends for coffee, living their lives. But inside, the silence feels deafening. The weight of it is heavy on your shoulders, and for the first time in a long time, you realize just how isolated you feel. It's not just physical isolation. This is deeper. It's emotional, spiritual. Even though you have people in your life, friends, family, colleagues, you feel disconnected. You feel like you're just going through the motions, playing a role that everyone else expects you to play. But it's not who you are. You've always felt like there's something more, something bigger out there waiting for you. But no matter how hard you try, you can't seem to find it. It's like you're stuck in a loop, unable to break free. You can't even explain it to anyone. How can you say you feel lost when you have everything you're supposed to have? A good job, a place to live, a social circle. But none of it feels fulfilling. It doesn't bring you peace. You've tried to fill that void with everything. You work harder, you go out more, you try to convince yourself that you're happy. But inside, there's always this nagging feeling that something is missing, like you're not living the life you were meant to live. You've tried to suppress it, tried to ignore it, but the feeling keeps growing. Why do I feel like this? Why does it feel like I'm walking through life, but not really living? The more you push those thoughts away, the louder they get. The emptiness you feel isn't just loneliness. It's a longing, a deep desire for something more than the life you're leading. It's the feeling of being different, of being apart from the crowd but not knowing why. No one around you seems to feel this way. Everyone is moving forward, getting promotions, meeting new people, traveling, building relationships. But for you, it feels like you're stuck. You've tried everything to make yourself feel connected, to find meaning, to find fulfillment. But the more you try, the more it slips through your fingers. Even when you're surrounded by others, there's still this underlying sense of isolation. It's like you're watching life happen, but you're not part of it. And the more you observe others, the more you start to feel like something is wrong with you. Why is it so easy for them? Why can't you find the same sense of satisfaction or purpose? You can't pinpoint the moment it all started, but you know this feeling has been with you for a long time. It's been lurking beneath the surface, and every attempt to shake it off only makes it stronger. You try to push through, to keep living the life everyone else is living, but you feel like you're pretending. You're pretending to be happy, pretending to be content, pretending that everything is okay when deep down, you know it's not. The more you try to be something you're not, the more it feels like you're suffocating. It's like you're wearing someone else's skin, someone else's life. And at the end of the day, when the world goes quiet, when you're left alone with your thoughts, you realize that you don't recognize yourself anymore. You've lost sight of who you truly are. You've spent so much time trying to fit into the mold that society has created for you, trying to meet the expectations of others, that you've forgotten what it means to be authentically you. You've lost touch with the person God created you to be. That's when it hits you. This feeling isn't random. This sense of being lost, disconnected, isn't just a phase. It's a sign that you've been called to something bigger. God has been trying to get your attention, trying to pull you away from the noise of the world so you can hear Him clearly. You've been chosen for something greater than you've ever imagined. But first, you need to stop trying to fit in. You need to stop pretending and start listening to the call that's been echoing in your heart for so long. You realize now that the isolation you've been feeling isn't because you're abandoned. It's because you've been set apart. You've been pulled away from the crowd for a reason. This isn't a punishment. It's preparation.
God has been working in your life all along, drawing you closer to the purpose He's always had for you. This feeling of being alone isn't a sign that you're lost. It's a sign that you're on the right path. You've been chosen to face something unimaginable, and that journey starts with embracing your silence, stepping away from the distractions, and opening yourself up to what God is calling you to do. You may feel alone right now, but you're not abandoned. You are being prepared, and this is just the beginning. The days following your realization are filled with a mixture of peace and discomfort. There's an undeniable pull inside you now, a sense that everything you thought you knew about your life is shifting, but the direction of that shift is still unclear. The quiet, once a source of unease, now feels like a sanctuary. It's in the silence that you begin to hear what you couldn't hear before. In the space where everything else is fading, there's a stillness where God speaks. And though His voice isn't loud or demanding, it's clear and powerful, like a whisper that cuts through the noise of your daily life. You don't fully understand it yet, but the more you lean into this quiet space, the more it feels like you've been called to something bigger, something you've been running from for so long. It's as though God has been waiting for you to surrender, to stop fighting, to stop forcing your way through the noise, and to allow yourself to be shaped in this silence. As you sit in this space of reflection, your thoughts turn inward, and you begin to see patterns you never noticed before. The relationships, the choices, the struggles that once seemed like random events now take on a deeper meaning. They weren't random at all. God has been shaping you all along. He's been leading you to this moment, this realization that you've been set apart, not because you're unworthy, but because you've been chosen for something bigger. The silence becomes clearer now. It's not a void, it's a refuge, a sacred space where you can hear God's whispers. In this quiet, you begin to see that all the things you've been chasing, success, approval, recognition, were distractions. They were ways to fill the emptiness inside you, but they never brought the peace you're starting to feel now. The peace that comes when you finally stop seeking outside validation and turn inward to listen to the truth that's been there all along. You've been running for so long, chasing after things that never really fulfilled you, always feeling like something was missing. You look back now and realize that even though those things were good on the surface, they were never enough to fill the gap in your soul. And now, in this silence, you finally understand why. God was waiting for you to slow down, to step back from the noise of the world so you could hear His voice clearly. The more you sit in this space, the more you begin to trust it. It's not that you don't feel the pull of the world. You still hear the noise, still feel the pressure of expectations, but they don't have the same hold on you anymore. You begin to understand that you were never meant to fit in with the crowd. You were meant to stand apart, to live a life that's different, that aligns with the calling God has placed on your life. But it's not easy. The discomfort you feel isn't a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's a sign that you're doing something right. Every step away from the noise feels like a step away from everything familiar, and that brings a strange sense of both freedom and fear. The relationships that once felt safe begin to feel limiting. The people who once filled your life now seem distant. It's not that you don't care about them, but you can feel that they are no longer meant to walk this journey with you. They can't understand what's happening inside you, and that's okay. It's painful, yes, but necessary. You begin to realize that God has been clearing the path for you, removing the distractions, the noise, and the people who can't walk with you into the next chapter of your life. You start to understand that this isn't about you rejecting them. It's about you being open to God's will for your life. It's about embracing the silence, about letting go of the people and things that no longer serve your purpose, so you can step into the life you were meant to live. The more you trust this process, the more you begin to see the fruits of it. You feel lighter, more aligned with who you are. The distractions that once consumed you, the worries about fitting in, the fear of not being enough, they start to lose their power over you. You start to see that the silence isn't just a space for growth, it's a space for healing. And the healing isn't always easy. It's messy and it's painful, but it's necessary. You're shedding old layers of yourself, letting go of old habits, old fears, and old ways of thinking that kept you from stepping fully into your calling. And in that space, you begin to find yourself. The person you've always been, the person God always intended you to be, is starting to emerge from the chaos. The silence has become a sanctuary, a place where you can hear your own voice, where you can hear God's voice, and where you can begin to see the bigger picture. You've been chosen to face the unimaginable. And it's in this silence, in this time of separation, that you're being prepared. You're not just waiting, you're being made ready for what's to come. And as you embrace this process, you realize that this is just the beginning. The challenges you face will only grow, but so will the strength you gain from this time of quiet preparation. You are becoming the person you were always meant to be, and the path ahead may not be easy, but it's one that you are ready to walk. With every step, with every moment of trust, you're aligning yourself with God's will for your life, and that's where the true power lies. The silence you've been fighting against is actually the space where your transformation is taking place. You're not just waiting for something to happen. You're becoming who you were always meant to be, and nothing will stop you from stepping into the life God has called you to live. The more you sit in silence, the more the realization grows within you. You've been called to something far greater than what you've been living. You feel it deep in your soul, a stirring, a whisper that's always been there, but you were too distracted to hear. The weight of this understanding begins to grow, and with it, a mixture of peace and fear. You know that God has been guiding you, preparing you for this moment, but there's still a lingering question. What now? What does it all mean? You begin to wonder whether you're ready. Ready for what's ahead. Ready for the challenges that you know will come as you move forward. Ready for the life that has been set before you. It's not a journey for the faint of heart. You start to realize that facing your purpose isn't about finding peace or comfort. It's about stepping into the unknown, into what God has called you to do, regardless of the obstacles that stand in your way. The next few days feel like a whirlwind of emotions. The clarity you once felt now feels like it's teetering on the edge of doubt. The world around you continues, seemingly indifferent to your transformation. People continue to question your choices, your silence. They don't understand. They don't see the shift that's happening inside you. The more you try to explain, the more you realize they will never truly understand. There's a separation happening, one that you can't avoid. People begin to pull away. You can't quite put your finger on it, but the ones you've trusted the most, the ones who've been by your side through thick and thin, are starting to fade. The friendships that once felt unbreakable now seem fragile. They don't see the change. They don't see the struggle, the growing strength inside of you. And in that absence, the pain hits harder. The sense of betrayal begins to creep in. You've always been there for them, always supported them when they needed it. But now, when you need them the most, they don't get it. They don't understand why you're withdrawing. They don't understand why you're not the person they once knew.
The more they push, the more you pull back, and the more you realize this is part of your journey.
The people who are meant to walk with you through this transformation will stay. The ones who aren't meant to be a part of this next chapter will fall away. It's painful, yes, but this is the beginning of your purpose. You weren't meant to stay in the comfort of what you've always known. This journey requires sacrifice, and one of those sacrifices is letting go of the relationships that no longer serve your greater calling. But it's not just the people around you that make this so difficult. It's the fear that begins to creep in. The fear that you won't be able to handle the weight of what's ahead. You've been chosen, yes, but what if you're not strong enough? What if you're not ready for the responsibility? What if you fail? These fears rush in, overwhelming you, making you second-guess everything. You've always doubted yourself, haven't you? Wondered if you're really capable of the things you feel called to do. The people who've rejected you, the ones who don't understand, they echo those doubts. Maybe they're right. Maybe you're not meant for this. But deep down, there's another voice, a stronger voice that keeps telling you, you were born for this. You are ready. You've always been ready. And it's in this moment, when the fear is at its peak, that you finally understand. This moment, this challenge, this doubt, it's part of the process. God has been refining you, preparing you for this. The pain, the betrayal, the confusion, they were all part of your training. They are the very things that have shaped you into the person you need to be in order to face the unimaginable challenges that lie ahead. The more you trust in this process, the more you feel the weight of it. The fear doesn't go away, it never does. But you begin to understand that it's not meant to stop you. The fear is simply a signal that you're on the right path. It's a sign that you're stepping into something greater, something that will require every ounce of strength you have. And yet, in the midst of all the fear and doubt, there is something else, something deeper. You begin to realize that your purpose is not just about you. It's about something far bigger. You've been chosen not just to endure, but to lead, to show others that, despite the unimaginable obstacles they face, they can rise above it. You're not just walking this path for your own sake, you're walking it for those who will follow, for those who will need your strength, your resilience, and your faith. And that understanding brings a new sense of clarity. You're not walking this journey alone. God has been with you every step of the way, and He will continue to guide you. The people who reject you were never meant to be a part of this journey. The ones who understand your calling, who stand beside you, they are the ones who will walk with you into the next chapter. You are not abandoned, chosen one. You are being shaped, prepared, and set apart for something that only you can fulfill. And now, as you embrace this truth, you feel a shift inside you. The weight of doubt begins to ease. The fear, while still present, no longer controls you. You know what you're called to do. You know you are ready. You have been chosen for this, and the world will see your strength. The days stretch on, and with each passing moment, the weight of your journey becomes more tangible. What once seemed like a whisper in the back of your mind has now become a loud, undeniable truth that courses through your veins. The silence, the isolation, the rejection, it all makes sense now. God has been setting you apart for a reason, preparing you for something greater. But as much as you understand this, it doesn't make the road ahead any easier. In fact, the challenges only seem to intensify. You've been trying to trust the process, to surrender to the divine plan for your life. But every time you take a step forward, you feel like the world around you pulls you back. The people who once stood by you, the ones who are closest to you, begin to notice your silence. The distance you've created between yourself and them starts to widen. And with that distance comes misunderstanding, judgment, and worse, a sense of betrayal. They don't understand what you're going through. They don't understand why you're retreating into yourself, why you're withdrawing from everything you once knew. It's as if you've become a stranger to them, and that makes the pain of separation that much harder to bear. Every time you try to explain, to share the reason behind your silence, they look at you with confusion. They don't get it. To them, you're just changing for no reason. They don't see the divine purpose unfolding inside you. They don't understand that you've been called to something greater, something they can't follow. And it's here, in this moment of pain and confusion, that you feel the sting of betrayal the hardest. You've always been loyal, always been there for the people you loved. But now, when you need them the most, they're walking away. It feels unjust. It feels wrong. How can they not see what's happening? How can they not understand that the silence isn't a sign of weakness, but a sign of divine strength? This internal conflict, this tension between staying loyal to the people who have been with you and following the call God has placed on your life, starts to feel like an unbearable weight. You're caught between two worlds. The old world, where everything was familiar and comfortable, and the new world, where everything is uncertain, where your true purpose awaits, but at a cost. The more you try to hold on to the people and the life you once knew, the more you feel yourself slipping away from it. You feel the weight of the sacrifice, the cost of following God's plan, and it begins to wear on you. You've tried to stay connected, to keep everything as it was, but you start to realize that you can't have both. You can't live in two worlds. The world you once knew doesn't fit with the person you're becoming, and as painful as it is, you know that you must choose. The more you choose your purpose, the more the distance between you and the people who once surrounded you grows. The ones who didn't understand, the ones who couldn't walk with you into your next chapter, begin to fade away. The betrayal you feel is not just from them, it's also from yourself. The guilt of letting go of the life you once knew, the guilt of leaving behind the people who once mattered, eats away at you. You wonder if you're doing the right thing. Shouldn't you be fighting for these relationships? Shouldn't you be holding on to the things you've worked so hard for? But deep inside, you know that you're being called to something greater, and the only way forward is through the pain. The more you lean into this truth, the more you realize that God is using this separation to refine you. The people you've lost weren't meant to walk with you in the next phase of your journey. They weren't part of your divine plan. You're being reshaped, not just for yourself, but for the bigger purpose God has set before you. The world, the noise, the distractions have all been cleared away so you can focus on what truly matters. And as you begin to embrace this truth, the tension inside you starts to ease, even though the pain of separation doesn't go away. You feel like you're standing at the crossroads of your life, torn between two versions of yourself, the person you were and the person you are becoming.
You start to see that your silence, your retreat into yourself, has not been about avoiding the world. It's been about listening. Listening to God's call, to the purpose that has been unfolding all along. You've been so focused on the noise, the demands, the expectations of others that you've never allowed yourself to hear the still, quiet voice that has always been guiding you. The truth is, you've been avoiding this. You've been avoiding the calling that's been inside you because you've been afraid of what it would cost you. But now, as the silence grows deeper, you realize that the cost of not following this path is far greater than the cost of walking it. And in that realization, something shifts. The fear, the doubt, the pain, they don't go away, but they lose their grip on you. You are no longer afraid to step into the unknown. You are no longer afraid to walk alone, because you now know that you are not truly alone.
God is with you every step of the way. You may have lost people along the way, but you've gained something far more precious. Your purpose, your calling, your divine strength. You are ready for what's ahead. You are ready to face the unimaginable. The days that follow are filled with a sense of clarity that you've never known before. It's not that the world around you has suddenly become easier, or that the challenges ahead have disappeared. No, the obstacles are still there, just as real and daunting as they ever were. But something inside you has shifted. You've reached a point in your journey where you no longer feel confused by the silence, by the separation, or by the isolation you've been experiencing. In fact, you start to realize that it's all been necessary. Every moment, every painful step that's brought you here has been a part of a greater plan. You've been set apart, yes, but not to be abandoned. You've been pulled from the crowd for a reason, and that reason is becoming clearer with each passing day. It wasn't always easy to accept, but now, as you sit with it, you feel the weight of this truth. You were born to face the unimaginable. The pain, the loss, the betrayal, it was all part of God's preparation for the purpose He's calling you to fulfill. You didn't know it before, but all those times you felt abandoned, alone, and isolated, they were the moments God was shaping you. Every trial you've been through, every moment of doubt and fear has been forging you into someone capable of facing what's to come. You may not have realized it at the time, but now you understand. God was never far from you. He was right there, guiding you through the dark, preparing you for this very moment. The people who walked away, the ones who didn't understand, they weren't meant to walk this path with you. The betrayal, as painful as it was, wasn't a reflection of your unworthiness. It was a necessary part of God's plan to free you from relationships that no longer served your purpose. As you begin to absorb this truth, you feel a deep sense of peace. You are never meant to walk in the same way as everyone else. Your journey has been different, and the silence, the isolation was not a sign of weakness. It was a powerful tool God has used to prepare you for what's ahead. You were chosen for this. The unimaginable obstacles you faced are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to refine you. You see now that every step of your journey has been a test, a trial, a crucible, designed to burn away everything that isn't meant to be part of you. You've been made stronger with every loss, every rejection, and every tear shed. And it wasn't just for your own benefit. You were being prepared to help others. You were being prepared to face the unimaginable, not just for yourself, but for those who will need you. As you sit with this revelation, you begin to see your purpose unfold. It's bigger than you ever thought. It's not just about you overcoming your struggles. It's about helping others do the same. God has chosen you to be a light in the darkness, a guide for those who feel lost, just like you once did. And in that moment of realization, something powerful stirs within you. You are ready. You are ready to face whatever comes next. And more importantly, you are ready to lead others through their own darkness. The fear and uncertainty that once gripped you begin to loosen their hold. They still exist, but they no longer control you. Now, when fear rises up, you know that it is a sign you are on the right path. The more you walk in the purpose God has set before you, the more you see how the pieces of your life have fallen into place. The struggles, the isolation, the betrayal, they've all been necessary steps to get you to this point. You've been equipped with everything you need to overcome what's ahead. The people who betrayed you, the ones who misunderstood you, may not be in your life anymore, but that's okay. You're not alone. God is with you, and those who are meant to walk with you will find their way to you. It's not about the people who walk away. It's about the ones who stay, the ones who understand your calling,
and the ones who will help you fulfill your divine purpose. Your purpose is bigger than any obstacle, bigger than any betrayal. And now, you are ready to walk fully in it. The unimaginable is ahead of you, but you no longer fear it. You welcome it, because you know that you are not walking into the unknown alone. You've been prepared for this moment. You were born to face the unimaginable, and with God's guidance, you will conquer it. The best is yet to come. The world is waiting for the person you are becoming, and you are ready to step into your destiny. Chosen one, as you stand on the threshold of your divine purpose, remember this. You were born to face the unimaginable. The challenges, the loneliness, the betrayals, they were never meant to break you. They were meant to refine you, to prepare you for the greatness that God has planned for your life. Every moment of pain, every setback, every time you felt like giving up has shaped you into the person you are today, stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your divine calling. You may have walked through darkness, but that darkness has only made your light shine brighter. Now, you stand ready to face the unimaginable with unwavering faith and courage. The world may not understand your journey, but that's okay. You don't need the approval of others to walk in your purpose. You are not alone. God is with you every step of the way, guiding you toward your destiny. The best is yet to come. So keep trusting, keep moving forward, and keep embracing the path that's been set before you. Your silence has been your strength. Your resilience has been your power. And now, as you step into the life you were always meant to live, know that you are more than ready. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone else who needs to hear it. Let's walk this journey together. Like, comment, and subscribe so we can continue to support each other as we fulfill our divine purposes. The unimaginable is ahead, and you are ready to face it. Remember, you were chosen for this. And now, the world is waiting for you to show up.